Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2020 Big Give. We are super excited today. We have such great energy on this call today. But first off, I want to remind everybody of our theme. Dupe 15Q doesn't come with a manual, but it comes with a family that never gives up. And again, I keep saying this over, but the people we've talked to today, this is like so both of you, Erin and Emily. So we have Erin Savari and Emily Field with us today. And Emily has her daughter is Addie, who has Dupe 15Q syndrome. And then Emily and Erin are sisters, and they live a mile away from each other. And they are the cutest, sweetest things, and talk about like family support. I mean, so first off, we're going to talk a little bit about our Run for a Reason program and all the efforts Erin and Emily have put in to that program and many races. But Emily, can you first tell us a little bit about Addie and how she's doing? The good, the bad, whatever you feel like sharing with us today.
Sure, I'll keep it brief. So Addie is 7.5. She is a very happy, sweet little girl. She loves her family very much. We're just recovering from a little COVID outbreak in our house, so that's been a little stressful. Addie doesn't really do well off of her routine, so the week off of school, as some of you probably know, has been tough. She asks every day, is my bus coming? Can I go to school? I'm like, no, not for 5 days, So we're making it through. We've had some struggles over the last year with seizures and medication, and it's been a lot of trial and error and a lot of behavior issues that have been challenging, but luckily we have the support of family, and that is really crucial to making it through day to day. So I thank Erin and everybody in my family for being there for us every single day through the good and the bad. She's a happy, really happy kid, but we have our struggles every day just like everybody else. So running is really like my therapy, and I'm really just lucky to be able to run and to run with family and to live in the same town where I have support of lots of sisters and a brother, and it's just we wouldn't be able to make it through without them.
Oh my gosh. Erin, so Erin, how is it being an auntie? I know you have your own kids yourself, but how has Dupe 15Q this life like impacted you, your family? What does that look like?
So I have three kids, 13, 9, and 6. And my kids are very close to Emily's kids and to their other cousins. They all adore Addie. Addie's a huge fan of all my kids, but she really adores my oldest, Nuala, who sometimes babysits Addie, but Addie says she's babysitting her. It's very sweet. They have a really nice relationship. I think one of the biggest things I should say is that raising kids is not easy. It's hard, and it's hard when you have neurotypical kids. And I think I never fully understood what it was like. And I don't think I ever completely will, because she's not mine. But I love her like one of my own. And I see the struggles that Emily and her husband, John, go through on a daily basis with raising all three kids and a dog, and all the challenges that the other two siblings also have and take on, whether they want to or not. Having a sister with Dupe 15Q, it's a challenge, from visits to the playground to getting dinner at the table to finding respite support for them so they can have breaks. I think that, like Em said, you need your village and you need your people, and I'm glad that we all live close together and we do what we can. But I can't really imagine, I can't imagine not being involved and not helping out when possible. Addie's a little love, and she's a lot to handle at times. But she's funny and sweet, and she knows what she likes. She says the funniest stuff. She shut down. I hosted 36 people for Thanksgiving this past year. And she, in the middle of that room, my mom said a prayer and then asked, I forget, Emily, you'll have to help me remember. She had the whole room was quiet. She was in the center, I think, playing with Play-Doh. And what did mom say? And what did she say back to her? It was like
I don't remember, but it was
She
like,
said,
it was
she
like
said
the
something
perfect
like,
thing. Like
it
I
was so
love
perfect.
or something like that.
Out of nowhere. I mean, she is like, oh, she's a sponge. She's always listening, and you never know exactly like what she's taking in, but she'll save it for months and then come out with it. And you're like,
Yes.
oh my God, I can't
Yeah.
believe you remember that. I think my mom said something like I love all of you or something like that. And she just looked up at my mom and said, I love you, Mimi. And it just like melted the room and we were all crying. And I was like, oh my God, that made Thanksgiving. It's done. We don't need to do anything else. Like that was perfect because it was a lot to host. And when Addie said that, we were just like, oh my God, it was just exquisite. I don't know, I'm rambling, but
No,
she's a special little girl and I do anything for her.
yeah. I'm like, first off, Emily, I'm so proud of you for being vulnerable and accepting help. Because I think sometimes I go through stages where I'm like, I got this, I got this. And then I have a little breakdown. I'm like, oh, I really didn't have that.
Yeah.
So like for you to be vulnerable and open and know to ask for help is huge. And what a great support system.
I feel like that has come over time because I haven't always been like that. I always
Yeah.
thought to do it all on my own, but I've realized like I really can't.
Yeah.
You know, like there's
Yeah.
a lot I can do, but I can't do it all. And we do need help and we do need to ask for help and or say no to things that we just can't do. We just can't do it all. You know?
Right, right. Yeah, but one thing I want to talk about is here at Duke 15U Alliance, we have a Run for a Reason program. So we had people just like we create a fundraising page for them. And I think myself and Brendan, because I was pushing Brendan everywhere in my conveyed around town. I'm like, I might as well like clock some of these miles in and, I'd take pictures. So, a lot of people have done that just for fun, but you guys kind of take it to another level, if you will. And, well, Emily, you first, in the fall of 2019, you ran the 2019 New York City Marathon and you raised $14,000. It's unbelievable. And then you had your virtual 26.2. And then both of you just finished the New York City half marathon. So can you tell us about the half? Oh yeah, look at,
I thought I lost it. I thought I lost it and I found it somewhere recently and I was so happy.
Oh my gosh. That's a really pretty medal.
It is very pretty.
Yeah. Can you show us Erin, do you have the shirt?
Yes. Erin's prepared. I'm totally not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so whenever you
and it says the back says the Duke 15Q Alliance and Run for a Reason. And then we both have identical shirts that we wore that day and they both say this, my reason is Addie.
I love it. Now so did you guys train together?
Oh yeah.
So it's funny, like Erin and I have a couple sisters that I run with, but like Erin and I run a lot. We have a little meeting spot halfway between our houses. So I think, especially like through COVID, I mean, even before COVID, we always ran together. I think having kids, it's just, that was like my escape and my like alone time, my me time, whether it was at like 5:30 in the morning or, another time. But I think especially over the last couple of years, it's just like something I lean into because I feel like I need that time for me and just to talk to sisters or friends. Like it's been a lifesaver. And so Erin and I have always loved running together. So doing this wasn't really a stretch. It was just like, okay, now we got to hold each other accountable for our runs. And, we got some in and we didn't get some in and that's life, like that's life with kids. Like you get sick or your kid gets sick and you can't do a long run. But I think like my big takeaway from that weekend is like, we just had so much fun together and like, it didn't matter like what time we came in, we smiled like every mile. And it was one of my most favorite memories, so I appreciate Erin for doing that with me.
Oh my gosh.
She asked me in December, shared an Instagram post, like, what do you think about this? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm in.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, we don't go away much without kids and certainly not in the past 2 years and like go to Brooklyn and run a half marathon. Like basically we're just alone, like spending 2 days together, which was so fun. And we had a blast, and the running was certainly part of the fun, running through New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, she had run the full before, but I've been to the city a bunch, but I've never run a race there. And like starting in Brooklyn and then running, across the bridge and going into Manhattan and running in Central Park was just like, I was there cheering her on for the full in 2019.
Yeah.
With a couple other friends. We chased her around the city, and I think we saw her like 5 or 6 times.
Uh-huh.
But doing this together, like running on the streets together, was, and it was a gorgeous day. It was quite warm.
It was
it was, yeah.
quite warm 2 months ago yesterday, and we had so much fun.
Oh my gosh. And then you guys raised together for the New York City half about $5,500. That's unreal. And combined, Emily, you're at like almost $20,000.
Which I think like just speaks volumes for like, I try to turn something I love into like making a difference. So it's like, I love to run. I love Addie. Like, how do we like put that to use? And I think telling your story and becoming vulnerable is like, it can be really hard.
Yeah.
I always get emotional.
Oh.
But like, that's, people are there and they support you, and
yeah.
Sorry.
No, this is real life. It's
as we do that, like we expand on what we like to call Addie's army. And it's like through the hard times, like through the last week, like there's been hard days. And I'm like, oh God, she's having another meltdown. Like, but like I lean into like those people, like all the people that stepped up and supported us and, made a donation or, went for a run with me or just, checked in to see like, how are you doing, and like, those little things, like they matter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Erin, can you show us your little hearts?
So
your army.
Emily has the stickers at her house, but this is this is like an Addie's Army bracelet that Em ordered a bunch of. My girls have them, and a lot of the women in my family have them, and they just wrap around.
I love those.
So we wear those a lot. We have Addie's Army shirts too. I think raising the funds is so important, but I also think raising awareness about what it's like to have a child with Duke 15q or a non-neurotypical kid is something that communities everywhere need more of. Even like simple things like, taking Addie out or going to the playground. Like she's not the same as other kids. And sometimes people get it and are wonderful about it. And sometimes people stare and don't know what to say and don't know what to say to their kids. And I feel like that's something that I want to change in our community and like help people understand better. Ask your name or introduce yourself. Like she's a human being, and my sister's a human being too. And like, it's hard for her to have that elevator speech every time. Like, she's different. She's not like, she's 7 and she's sitting in a stroller and she doesn't want to play on the playground. She's overstimulated right now, so she can't do that. But like lots of people don't really know how to manage that. And I don't know, that's something that we talk about often. And I feel like is a whole nother strain on families and parents of kids with Duke 15q. Like, how do you, talk about it to strangers?
And you know what, as much as it's great talking about our bright spots, like we have to talk about the yucky stuff too sometimes, and that's okay. So that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from you both right now. So I so appreciate that. So obviously you guys love Addie, you're Addie's Army. Is there anything else that inspires you, both of you, to do what you do?
I think we have a close family, and my parents had 5 kids in 7 years. So like, we're very close, but it makes sense that we have kids close together because we're all doing the same things in that period of time. But I think I forgot where I was like going with this, but I think
just anything inspirational or anything that like anything you'd like to share, like to help get others involved. Like
I think people think they have to have it all figured out and know a ton, and I know that I don't know a ton, and I know I've learned a lot. And I think knowing what you don't know and still stepping up and saying like, hey, I want to help, or hey, I want to learn something. Like, can you share a little bit about Dupe 15Q, or can you share about your child, or like what works really well? What do you do when you're having those low moments? I mean, it definitely inspires me when I see Emily and her husband John, when they like the patience that they have with Addie, and when I see my daughter Nuala and her, she's 13 and she just has this kind of like innate knowing of what to do with Addie when she's upset. It helped me a lot recently. Like I had Addie overnight on Em's birthday, and part of it was great and part of it was hard. And like, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a manual, but I was just like, I'm just going to love her and do what I can and make her feel safe. And we ended up having a sleepover in Emmy's bed, and 2 dogs and me and Addie in the bed, and it was great. And probably one of the best parts was the week after when Em and John told me that she was like every night, "Where's Erin? Where's Erin? Is Erin coming tonight?" And like that just like to me, and my heart was bursting just to like hear that that's what it was top of mind, was like, where's my auntie? And like, why is she not here? I'm going to bed. So that inspires me to do more and take her for chunks, to give them breaks, and to try to educate other people on like, what is Dupe 15Q and how does it affect their family, and what can we do to help them, because we all need support.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I have to say,
go ahead.
You two and your story and the way you talk about each other and the way you talk about your children, it's beautiful. Like that sounds so cliche, but it's truly beautiful. A lot of families don't have that. And it's just really heartwarming and encouraging to see. And you truly both embody our theme that Dupe 15Q doesn't come with a manual, it comes with a family that never gives up. Your entire family, your parents and your other siblings. What a beautiful thing that you have. And then on top of it, that you're running and you're raising $20,000 and you're trying to raise awareness and educate families to give kids like Addie grace. I mean, I feel like that with Rylan. We go to a grocery store and she's overwhelmed and she throws herself down and she's 10 and everybody's staring, and you people are like, oh, if that was my kid, I would do this. And you're like, can you give her a little grace? We're all different. So I just love that that's also part of what you want to do and share, so that our kids can live full and happy lives in their communities.
Thank you.
And Nika, quickly before we go, I want to thank both of you so much. But speaking of running, I just wanted to put it out to the community. We actually have 2 bibs available right now for the Atlanta, Georgia Peachtree Road Race, which is July 4th. I want to say it might be a 10K. It's under a half marathon. So if anybody's interested,
there's no spots left. Like we have 2 bibs. No one else could get into this race right now. Like we have them. Do it. You guys want to go?
If I wasn't on family vacation, I would say I would go, but
don't you guys need some more time together?
I don't know Atlanta to like coerce to say, go do this.
I'll do it in 2023.
Okay.
Probably pretty hot in Atlanta then, but if it's not,
I think they give out beer at the end.
Oh,
that's
a perk.
That's a little
I would
incentive
just
there.
say, like, if I think like there's just, you got to start. Like, what do you find that you love? Like, do you love to walk? Do you love to run? Like, how can you turn that into something that can really make a difference? And for us, it's been running, and I'm thankful that I can still run, and I have the support of like my sisters and my family. But anyone can do it. Start out with a 5K. Like it's manageable. So. To make a difference for Addie and, all the other kids, your kids, and everybody that's affected by Dupe 15Q, like it makes a difference, and it's so important, and that's why we do it, and we'll continue to do it. I'll do it, as much as I can.
It helps your own mind and body too.
Who was the guy that ran with us? What was,
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Karch. We love Paul Karch. Paul.
Yeah, we love Paul. We love
Paul and his friend.
Yes. Yeah.
We met them at the expo.
I hope that's me in 30 years, I don't know.
Well, again, thank you so much, ladies, for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. This is just so inspirational. And as a reminder, we are looking to raise $50,000 today, which would be going towards our Ladder Learning Network. And we've received a beautiful match from our board of 50,000. So it would just be amazing if we hit our total of 100,000 today. So again, thank you ladies for joining us, and hope you guys get a run in together soon.
We will.
And I'll be
Thank you for
donating
having
when I
us.
get
It was
off.
great to see you both.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
Bye now.
much. It was a pleasure.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.